Presidents, they're great, they're awesome, they're whatever. You get the point by now. Man, I really gotta stop saying that. Anyway, where were we? Presidents. Yeah, president. There have been just over 40 of them, which is unfortunately probably less than the amount of Kids Bop albums out there. Anyway, there's Barack Obama, George Washington, JFK, Grover Cleveland, Thomas Jefferson, James Polk, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, Bill...
Wait a minute, there's 2 Grover Clevelands?
Ah yes, little child. 2 things. First of all, it's a little known fact that Grover Cleveland is actually the first and only president to be cloned. And second of all, I'm completely lying. So, the truth is that Cleveland is the only president to be elected for 4 years, run again, only to lose, and then run yet again, only to win this time, or in other words, serve 2 non-consecutive terms. This whole shebang started in 1884, where Grover Cleveland decided to run for president after being governor of New York for 2 years, starting in 1882. Good old Grover just barely pulled through, only winning the electoral vote by nearly 1,000 individual votes, which is one of the closest elections in U.S. history. Later on, 1888 came along, the riveting battle of Uncle Jumbo, Grover Cleveland, versus Little Ben, Benjamin Harrison, where Little Ben won. Which, might I add, is complete baloney because Grover Cleveland won the popular vote, but I digress. Anyhow, Cleveland soon swore his revenge against Ben in 1892, and also against some random James D. Weaver dude. This time, Uncle Jumbo actually won. Yay! Woo! Woo! And afterwards, Uncle Jumbo was a very happy boy. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. But wait, there's more. That's not all there is to Cleveland's story. He's got a whole bunch of other stuff going for him other than just his presidential terms. First of all, the whole Uncle Jumbo thing wasn't a joke. Mostly, it was an actual nickname that Grover Cleveland had while governor of New York. On the topic of nicknames, Grover also gained the name of Big Steve prior to adulthood, due to his name actually being Stephen Cleveland, which frankly makes him sound like a nerd, but Grover was his middle name. And on a related note to Big Steve, Cleveland was actually the second heaviest president to rule the United States, weighing in at 250 pounds. And if you think that's funny, then you're wrong, because that would just be a very mean thing to think. And also William Howard Taft got stuck in a bathtub, which is definitely funnier. And anyway, he probably got more game than you because he was the first president to get married in the White House. Probably not too proudly though, since his wife, Frances, was the youngest first lady ever with a 27-year age difference between them, and she was like 21 at the time. And Cleveland was over twice that age, which might bring up some weird pedophile discussions, so we should probably move on. Cleveland is also known as the Guardian President since he went absolute ham with his veto privileges, using it 584 times, which was more than every president did before him combined, and only surpassed by Franklin D. Roosevelt, which is reasonable since he got elected 4 times. I guess he really didn't want those laws to get through, except there's been laws like bear wrestling is prohibited, and you must not play dominoes on a Sunday, which I may or may not have done. Overall, Grover Cleveland is definitely not the best president, even though he's credited as the one who returned power back to the executive branch in the 1880s. He's lucky to even be listed as an average president according to historians. His political career soon dive-bombed during his second term due to the Panic of 1893, which was a major economic depression in the United States. Despite all that, Big Steve will always be the biggest Steve in my eyes. Anyway, there's Barack Obama, George Washington, JFK, Grover Cleveland, Thomas Jefferson, James Polk. What, man? But wait, there's more. That's not all. that's not their all. Jeez. Overall, Grover Cleveland is definitely not the best president. Why do I keep saying that? Oh shoot, is that the cops? I think they found out about the dominoes. I knew I shouldn't have played with Grandma that Sunday.